Hello and welcome to our daily sketching routine. It is Saturday, November the 8th, 2025, and today's topic I'm going to call building upon a drawing, or build upon a drawing. But the idea is I'm going to build upon this drawing here, and that's from yesterday. But before we begin, welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new to the channel. I sketch and post every day, and I use a timer to stay focused and to build a habit. I'll start a 10-minute timer. This is from yesterday. I'll post a link to that, and I'll put a before picture, as I like to do, so you can see. Now there's a lot of things. There's more details in the other ones, but there's a lot of things like I'm actually doing with this. So one thing is, it's just from imagination without any idea, and I just built off of it, and that's like the idea of it. And you don't have to do it that way, but I wanted to demonstrate it's like an exercise, but it's also I think a methodology. And for me, it's probably pretty exciting. I mean, it's challenging, but yeah, if you want to kind of experiment with it. But yeah, that's the before, and I think like the main thing I wanted to show was the similarities, because that was like the whole point of it, was just going from yesterday's. It's basically a drawing, but you could call it a sketch. Like this, I don't really consider this a sketch. There's sketchiness to it, like some of the line work, but to me it's a drawing. Like it could be used for a comic or an illustration. With that said, I'm going to build upon it. There's different things you can do. You can draw other sort of vignettes or like random drawings on here. There's this tendency, and I'm kind of speaking for myself, but maybe others can relate, to want to do something different, look up something or whatever. Like to me, like this approach is probably one of the more challenging approaches, but I wanted to do it. Like it's an exercise. There's all these different directions you could go with something like this. You could decide to draw like a table or something, or like a chair, or like a background. I'm going to add another character. So not only is drawing just straight out of your imagination a challenge in and of itself, but then drawing hands is like a challenge. So I'm just going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with like the challenge part of it. Now that I have a character to not only use as like an idea, but also as like reference or like scale, I'll just go with that. Now, to do it this way, you could be more sketchy. There's all these different approaches. I just want to play around. So I'm going to, it's like a mixture of using some construction, kind of like this. Like yesterday, I felt like I was being kind of tight with it, because again, it's an exercise and an experiment. But you can be a little bit looser. You just have to play around with it. Like I'm just gonna play with the hands. Keep it simple enough. So yesterday I didn't have as much of this, of this kind of thing, and that's okay, because I didn't know what I was going to draw. So now that we have more of an idea, and also more of like a scale, like something to compare it to. So I would say, if you're wanting to learn or still learning this, like this part, like the construction, which is all like the little stick figures and stuff that you see in some other videos, and like other people do, and that I do in my videos, like you want to get that part like done, because that's really what you're going to visualize. And if you're using reference, which I call studying, you might want to break the reference down into something like this, because that's kind of what I'm doing here. Like I was being pretty tight with it, and this I would call being a little bit looser with it, but not so loose that I can't make this look like that one. And also, for as far as like the idea of style, this is really where a lot of style can can happen. Because when you're drawing like stuff from imagination like this, your style inevitably is going to come out. So at this point, kind of just thinking about, like, there's going to be things that are kind of off, kind of like with this. And this is what I mean by style. So I was just drawing stuff, but then like the hands to me are a little bit big. I mean, but it's okay. I mean, again, it's just like part of like the style. Like this might be a little bit, could be lower, maybe. So yeah, I'm being like looser with it now. Again, that's okay. I could have gone in the direction of like random kind of stuff, more of a collage kind of thing, or kind of like this, more of a scene with like different characters. I'm just gonna do this. And again, it may or may not work. See, this one I'm actually constructing it a little bit more. But yeah, I'm just making a point not to look at any kind of reference. Again, it's not because there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's sometimes you get very like different things. So I'm going to move this character. I feel like the proportions are off, so I'm going to like just move it up. Pen's starting to run out a little. I've got a couple of minutes left. So that's the basic idea. I'll probably start a 5-minute timer, and kind of this will be kind of a mini series, mini deep dive. And one thing is to work from, just like when I showed the before of this, again, it's part of an exercise of going with what already is here, rather than this idea of fighting with like the sketch or the drawing. Like some of the style, like the shadows and stuff, I'm just gonna keep. And then some of this might be cleaned up, and this is a pen and ink kind of thing. Yeah, so that's the basic sketch right there, and I'll do another 5 minutes. But there's 30 seconds left. Alright. So I didn't really have this yesterday. I just kind of just drew, and it was fun. I mean, it's a challenge to do that, but it was fun. And yeah, like there were things that were a little off, but I mean, it adds to it, I think. So just give it I'm gonna look at it for a minute. I'm gonna start a 5-minute timer, and I'm basically gonna approach this. This is kind of like a layout, and so I'm gonna approach it kind of like what I did here, where I didn't have a layout, and so it was a little more challenging or even stressful if you don't have like the layout. But let's say you have something like this. Again, there's all these different approaches you could take. But if I have something like this, I'm just gonna kind of go with it. That's kind of what I did here. I just kind of went with whatever I had. So I'm gonna go with it. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start drawing, which is different. Like to me, like this, so like this is a drawing, but it's a sketch. So now I'm just gonna draw it. So kind of like this. Like that's the drawing. And even here, I can go in and clean it up, but that's different. Like that's like detail. So the drawing, for example, is going to have a silhouette. So it's going to have an outline. So again, I'm just going to go with it unless there's like a reason not to. Like here, maybe like I'm just going to go with it and see if I can make it work. So like that's more of the actual drawing. And the idea is that when you outline something, so first of all, like this kind of thick outline is a style, like that's the look of that. So it'll look a little more cartoony, but you can still have depth from the overlap. So if you have shapes that overlap, kind of like this, you can still have depth and you can still have line, like what is it, like line weight. However, when I do this kind of thing, like that's light and dark. Like there's a lighting scheme. There's like light coming over here. And it's also about leading the eye. So I'm really just outlining the stuff that I already, part of it is I already can see it, and also part of it is the style of it. Like this isn't like that realistic, it's stylistic. And this is like the actual finished, and you can refine it, but I'm not going to redraw that. Like it's already finished. So there's about a minute left. I'm looking at this. Faces are always the thing to take a little bit of time. So I'm seeing, for example, like that could be the nose. Go ahead and make that the eyes. And then like some shading could be done. I'm just going to go ahead and do it right here. This turned into kind of a scene. Part of it is an exercise in doing something like this. It's incredibly helpful, first of all. And yeah, you could sketch it out kind of like this, like in pen, and then, or like in pencil. That's how you come up with ideas. I mean, there's just kind of a demo, really. Don't feel bad if you can't do it. I think it's challenging, but I think it's also very fun. But yeah, that'll be it for today. I want to thank you for joining me for a daily sketching routine. And if you enjoy these videos, please support the channel. I appreciate it. And until next time, keep on sketching.